Okay, this is a tutorial in Sony Vegas for blurring someone's face. And this is at the request of T-Hope, but hopefully some other people will find it useful. So this particular effect is used in police shows and news reports where the identity of an individual needs to be hidden. It's pretty straightforward in Vegas. Just takes some masking and some tracking and a couple filters. So I've added a video clip here with a couple people having a conversation. It's only about 5 seconds long, but that should be enough to get the point across. So the first thing we want to do is separate the audio and the video. So right click on the video track, go to group, remove from group. Now we can edit that video layer separately. We want to duplicate the video track, so right click over on your track layer and duplicate track. Now we have two copies of that video file that are identical. We're going to be working in the top layer, so activate that first video layer on top. What we need to do is we need to create a mask. So if you look over here on the right, there is an event pan crop icon. You can click on that. You can also access that by right clicking on the video file and going to video event pan crop. Also make sure that you're only working in that top layer, so that one is blue. That pulls up the pan crop window. We want to check mask down here in the lower left hand corner, and that's going to bring up our masking options. Click on the anchor creation tool, and let's draw a circle by clicking around the face. It doesn't have to be exact, and it doesn't have to be right on the face. In fact, you probably want to go a little bit outside. Okay, now we've created a mask. We'll come back to this window in a moment, but first we need to apply the filters. So go ahead and close out of that. You can access the effects by clicking on the event FX icon here, or also right clicking and going to video event effects. We're going to use a combination of two filters for this. First is the Gaussian blur, and then we also want to add pixelate to get those pixels for the same effect that's pretty common on television. So hit OK once you've added those two, and first let's work in the Gaussian blur. Now the standard blur amount is probably about right for this. You can see here on the video that it might not be directly on the face. That's okay. We're going to track the motion after we fix these filters. I'm going to go ahead and leave the blur settings at default and go over to the pixelate filter. Now let's move that up until we start getting some large pixels. Okay, so something around 0.75 or a little higher, whatever you want to set it at. And you can see we're beginning to get that blur and that pixel effect around the face here. So it's not exactly perfect, as you can see. So let's go ahead and track the motion on the face. So go back to your pan crop tool, and that's going to open up the window there. Make sure that you're able to move freely. So you want both the up, down, and side to side arrows activated. Click on the normal edit tool. And here we can move the blur effect around. Now, the face is going to move a little bit, so we want to keyframe that motion. Once you get it to where it's looking about right, you can begin to move this. If it looks like his face is starting to get out of the area a little bit, you can go ahead and move the circle. And that will create a keyframe here for that particular moment. Okay, and that's all there is to it. So if we take another quick look at that, the face is blurred, and you can adjust the blurring effect to your liking. So hopefully that helps.